19 seasons, 5 championships, 2 MVPs, 15 All-Star Game appearances, 1,001 victories, all while doing it in a San Antonio Spurs uniform. The franchise knew it got lucky earning the #1 overall pick in 1997. And as you heard the man say himself, no one saw this coming. He forever changed the city and the game for the better.
Tim Duncan is and will always be a superstar. But his defiance against NBA decadence can sometimes cloud judgment around his dominance. He's coach speak if it took human form, a man rooted in fundamentals blossoming around the basket on offense and defense. A 6'11" force, clocking in to surgically dispose of opponents before doing it all over again the next game. He wasn't flashy nor a fashionista. His flannel could tell you that. Duncan didn't talk smack nor dictate the Spurs on his terms. His persona a sieve, sifting through extraneous distractions, leaving behind the only thing that mattered: winning. For some reason, consistency is boring. Loyalty does not lead to theatrics. Winning 50-plus games a season starts to seem too easy. Deflecting praise while mouthing platitudes comes off as disenchanting. That is the beauty of Tim Duncan. His resume is one of the best all time, but instead of outlining his indisputable accolades, it's imperative to remember the man for how he went about his craft. A creature of habit, sturdier than a statue he would never want outside the AT&T Center. He's the everyman, yet unlike any man we've ever seen in the sport. Duncan will enter the Hall of Fame alongside Kobe Bryant and Keven Garnett. It's arguably the greatest induction class ever. While Duncan is a huge reason for that classification, his dominance will not flood the headlines along the way. He's going to finish his book the same way he wrote all the chapters. A superstar who refused to conform to anyone's definition of what that word means.
Thank you, San Antonio. Thank you.
As I mentioned, this class is arguably the best of all time. Duncan, Kobe, and Garnett are top 25 NBA players. Texas native and WNBA champion Tamika Catchings also earns the nod, along with 3 unbelievable coaches in Rudy Tomjanovich, someone Greg Popovich heavily advocated for, Eddie Sutton and his 800-plus wins, and current Baylor women's head coach Kim Mulkey, who has a handful of championships to her name. So, of course, now with Tim Duncan heading to the Hall of Fame at the end of August, we know that this is just the start of the big 3, as Manu and Tony will then follow. And then, of course, Greg Popovich. You know, Greg Popovich is someone that says he doesn't want to hear his name talked about until Rudy Tomjanovich gets in. So now that that's happened, Phil, can we get Pop talked about a little bit?
Yeah, and you know, we knew this day was coming, but that's a good point that you bring up. This is far from over as far as Spurs into the Hall of Fame goes, because you just listed 3 others at least that we know of. This is just the beginning.
Yeah, when it comes with Greg Popovich, right, just you always wonder if Tim Duncan helped Pop or if Pop helped Tim Duncan, and no matter which way you cut it, both of them came together at the exact right time to make sure that both of them had Hall of Fame careers and one of the best careers ever in the sport. And if you want to talk about 2 individuals who hate having the spotlight on them, you have Greg Popovich and Tim Duncan, and Duncan's going to have that moment at the end of August. And we're hoping that we can be there at that ceremony as long as everything can sort of get better from here on out.
It will happen at some point. We don't know if it, when exactly, but we know it will happen. And again, congratulations to Tim Duncan.